Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Martina. In today's video I'm going to be giving you an update on my medical education here in China. So I have some things I'm going to talk about in this video. First of all, what's happening to my medical education and my internship at the hospital. Then I'll talk about updates and changes on finishing medical school, graduation, and then I'll talk about when schools will resume and when foreigners will be allowed into China again. And I'll also talk about online classes and internship. And lastly, I'll talk about if China is safe for foreigners and should you still study in China after all this that has been going on. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave a comment down below if you have any more questions, and let's get into the video. So as you all know, I am a medical student here in China, a 6th year medical student, which is an internship year here in China. During this internship period, you can decide to do it in China or you can decide to go home for your internship. This is just clinical rotations for 1 year where you're supposed to rotate through different departments. So that is what I have been doing for ever since September of 2019 up till the end of January of this year. So I have already completed 5 months of my internship and I have 7 months left to go according to my internship timetable. But I was supposed to resume internship February 1st of 2020, but because of this outbreak we were not able to resume. The date just kept on being moved up till now. We're in April 23rd and I have not yet resumed my internship. So that is the update. I realized I didn't tell you guys what happened or if I was still going to the hospital. So that is what has been going on. I have been at home, and although life is mostly back to normal here in China, but I have not resumed my internship. Updates and changes on finishing medical school and graduation. So my internship was supposed to end September of 2020. Yes. And then usually after that, the people that went home for internship are supposed to come back around October, and then we're expected to write a graduation exam in maybe like the first week of December, and then the next week the results will be out and then we are done. And let's say the first week of January 2021 was supposed to be our graduation. Probably the first Friday of 2021 was supposed to be our graduation. But then, as you all know, since my internship has stopped, there are a lot of problems right now, a lot of changes that are going to happen because of this. Last time I was at the hospital was in January, so I have missed out on February, March, and currently April. That is 3 months. So if I was supposed to finish in September, 3 months are missing. So we have October, November, December, if we are actually going to follow the calendar of how it is supposed to be. So since I was supposed to graduate in January, at this point we do not know if we are going to graduate in January or not. We do not know how the school is going to, fix everything to make us be on time with the schedule. And take note, I am not in the next set of graduates. So there's still a set that is supposed to graduate June, July of 2020, and I am to graduate December, January of 2020/2021. So now this set had, the June, July 2020 set still had about 5 weeks before they finished their internship. So even if we were to resume, they still have 5 weeks. But it has already been confirmed for my school that the graduation cannot hold in July, because if we're in April now and schools have not yet resumed, the graduation will not be able to hold in July for that set. But for my set, we don't know how we are going to meet up with December, writing the exams in December and finishing this internship before December. So the next question, when will schools resume and when will foreigners be allowed back into the country? Now this is a very tricky situation because I have said before, things are getting back to normal in China and schools have started to resume, but mostly primary schools and high schools are resuming in China, which is for Chinese students, and the resumption is starting province by province, city by city. It's resuming gradually because the government is trying to avoid the second wave of the outbreak here in China. So there are some dates for some high schools and primary schools to resume, but for universities, no particular date has been fixed yet. There are rumors that most likely in May, universities will start resuming. But now this is mostly for Chinese students. During this outbreak, a lot of international students decided to go home for holiday, and even before the outbreak, it was already winter holiday here in China, so some students had gone back to their country. So even if a university decides to resume, the College of International Education may not be able to resume. And take note, Chinese students and international students, we don't have classes together. We're in the same school, but our international college is different from the overall Chinese college. We use the same resources, the same labs, the same everything, just that we have classes different from them. Except you're studying in Chinese language, then you may have some classes with the Chinese students. So if the Chinese students resume, we, the College of International Education, may not be able to resume because some of the students are back home in their country. So I don't know how the school is going to handle this situation, because the students back home cannot come into the country. The students here, I don't know if they will just say let the students here start classes while the other students at home continue with online classes. I don't really know how that is going to work. So there are a lot of troubles when it comes to when will school resume, mostly for international students, just because a lot of students are outside the country and they can't come into China just yet. As to when foreigners will be allowed into China, that is most likely going to be when this whole pandemic is settled all over the world. That is when I think China will be able to allow foreigners come back into the country, and there's no particular date as to when that is going to happen. Just look at the situation going around in the world, and whenever you think things will get better, most likely that is when foreigners will be able to come back into China. Online classes and internship. So when schools were supposed to resume, that was like 1st of March for my university. They started online classes for students, except we, the interns, we did not have any online classes. So students had classes, teachers had lectures online with the students, and then they can attend those classes in their different countries at different time zones. The teachers also gave assignments and books to read. Some teachers even give quizzes for the students to do during this online classes period. So for me as an intern, I have not been having online classes. I have not been doing anything related to school. We're just supposed to wait. And although the hospitals are open, they are functioning, but because we're under a school, we are not allowed to resume at the hospital. So of recent, my school has come up with a plan that we should also do online internship, which we are going to be split into groups, and then the doctors will carry us with them online when they go for rounds in the hospital, and then we'll have case discussions, and there'll be some online courseworks. And then the school is also providing some free resources from the British Medical Journal, some free resources for us to use to study and stay updated with clinical works and cases and questions and things like that. We just got this information yesterday, so they are going to give us access to that later this week. I still don't know how this online internship is going to be or how beneficial it's going to be for us, the interns. I really do not know, but as time goes on, when we start, I will update you guys on how it is going and if it is beneficial to us. The last thing, is it safe for foreigners, and should you still study in China after all this? Well, when China decides to open its country for foreigners to come in, that means they have decided that it is safe for foreigners to come in. So I think whenever this whole thing is over and China opens its borders, then you can come to China and it is safe. Should you still study in China after everything that has been going on? Well, it is all up to you. Personally, I share my experiences. I make videos about what I have been going through throughout this period. I've been making videos about, life in my city. I've been making videos about life in my city and how it has been throughout this outbreak, how we are being treated by the school. And I also have so many videos about my experiences in medical school with my university. So based on everything I've posted and what you see on the news, the information you're getting, anywhere you're getting your information from, it's all up to you to think and decide, do you still want to study in China? Because I can't give you a reason to study or not to study. I can only share my experience, and it's up to you to decide what you want to do. So I think I have answered some of the commonly asked questions. If you have any more questions, please leave it in the comment section. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.